Yeah, I said it. I said it. I've said it many times. I say it quite often. Donald Trump is a jackass. And is that a good thing or a bad thing? We'll find out. Play the intro. Ladies and gentlemen, coming to you live from the Lucky Dog studio in a hidden location somewhere in the upper Midwest of the United States of America, it's a brother making his own way, but with all the wrong opinions. Welcome to the Morning Night Live with your host, yours truly, Dawg Knight. All right, stop the music. So here it is. Here's the day that I said I was going to do. Because a year ago, or not a year ago, 4 years ago, when, what's the guy's name? Casey Neistat. Remember that that dude came out with a video telling us who he's going to vote for. Hillary Clinton. I'm going to vote for Hillary Clinton. And so I made a video telling who I was going to vote for. And at the time, I was not impressed with either candidate in the presidential race in 2016. I thought Donald Trump was, well, look, here's the thing. Back then, I always thought of Donald Trump as just a New York business Democrat who was kind of a, what's that word again? Kind of a jackass and kind of a narcissistic buffoon. And I wasn't really confident that Donald Trump as the Republican nominee, because I was a registered Republican in 2016, and I have been for a very long time, although I don't always vote for Republicans, but I mostly vote for Republicans. And I just wasn't necessarily confident that Donald Trump was going to be what I wanted Donald Trump to be, and I sure as hell wasn't going to vote for Hillary Clinton either. And being in Minnesota, where pretty strong Hillary Clinton vote, I just didn't feel like my conscience said, nah, not voting for either of those two. In fact, we'll play the video of who I voted to. If you haven't seen it before, we'll play it a little bit. It's kind of long, but it pretty much sums up my whole attitude towards 2016. Now, has my opinion of Donald Trump being a jackass changed? Nope. Donald Trump's still a jackass. However, I've learned that is actually kind of a feature and not a bug. Look, most people, people who hate Donald Trump, they think he's a jackass. A lot of people who love Donald Trump knows he's a jackass. Some of his biggest supporters knows he's a jackass. Hell, I think Donald Trump himself knows he's a jackass. And that's a good thing, because Donald Trump, as the president of the United States, deals with nothing but jackasses all day. You don't think Chuck Schumer's a jackass? You don't think Nancy Pelosi's a jackass? You don't think Adam Schiff is a jackass? Oh, of course they are. And also a lot of the world leaders. You know what? Look, when you need to get your way in this world, with the way things have been going, sometimes you got to have a little jackassery in your playbook to get things done. And so, again, it's not a bug. It's a feature. Now, Is Donald Trump my style? Nope. But I don't care about the personality. I look at what he said he would do in 2016 and what he has done as a president. Now, also, the fact that he got what the things he got done with a media that was almost unanimously against him, with Democrats using every trick in the book to try to get rid of him. Remember all the bombshells? In fact, I have a feature of the show that I call the TDBS, the Trump Daily Bombshell, because they come up with some bullshit every day. But the fact, here's the thing. Sometimes you need that entity that shakes things up so much, which Trump has done, and a jackass just don't give a fuck, right? The jackass don't care. And maybe that's why, despite my issues with Donald Trump's personality, my vote in 2020, I'm just going to leave you hanging. Let's say hi to everybody first. I've already told most of you anyway. Let's say hi to everyone in the chat. Yes, I'm leaving you hanging there. First in the chat today was Mr. Simon Wolfwood. Good morning, and you get the bell. If the damn bell would work. God dang it. Come on, bell. What the hell's going on here? There we go. All right, thank you. And also good morning to Select a Boy who's in the house. And that one's not working either because I hit the wrong letter. Boy. Also good morning to CNN Sucks, the most redundant name on the internet. Good morning, Black Hebrew Israelite.
That's right.
Also, good morning, Uncle Bobbity, who's here in the morning because, oh no, this is because of insomnia. Well, I hope we find a way to get you to sleep. I saw some people giving you some advice and different ideas. Good morning also to Keenan, Spambot22. Oh, wow, there's a whole lot of that there. Also, good morning to the one who tubes, who says, that's white.
That's right.
Also, Advocatus Diabli, Jesse, Leon, wipe your button. Oh, that must be the wipe the like button. Hey, yeah, wipe the like button right now. Also, good morning to Duck Dog, and who asked me the question. I said, because I always say good morning, and Duck Dog says, PDawgKnight, what's so fucking good about it? Well, in my eyes, the fact that I am vertical instead of horizontal, that's what's so good about it. Also, good morning to, let's see, Zebulon Pike, how you doing? And I'm scrolling. Gunfox61, the main administrator of my, what do you call it? My Discord server. If you see the little link come through, if you want to jump on my Discord, feel free. Also, hey, and Gunfox61 out of the box with the $5 Streamlabs donation. And you, whoops, wait a minute. You are the new Streamlabs Superstar Donor of the Day. Thank you, Gunfox61, who says, Nancy is the Wicked Witch of the West. Chuck Shitface is a commie bastard. And watch if Biden wins it, will be Commie Harris, and VP will be Nancy Commie Witch. Oh, I see. So yeah, if Biden wins, we'll have. Okay, give me an over under. Please don't even give me the scenario. But if Biden wins, how long will it be before Kamala Harris is the president? Because I don't think I don't think this is just a Trojan horse. Maybe this is I'm going all in Alex Jones on this one, but I get the feeling that here's how I see this a little bit. So when the Democrats started lining themselves up for their primaries, right? You got all these people out there, and Kamala Harris seemed to be the darling of the media. And the Democratic National Committee loved Kamala Harris, and they really wanted everyone to love Kamala Harris, right? But unfortunately, the Democratic electorate was not excited about Kamala Harris, and she kind of got beat up in one of those debates. Y'all remember that? Tulsi Gabbard swatted her down, and she got blown out, okay? She didn't even make it to the first primary. But establishment Democrats still saw in Kamala Harris, I know I still have people to say hi to, but I'll get there. What they saw, they thought they had their next Barack Obama. Not realizing that Kamala Harris is not nearly as poised as Barack Obama. She was pretty good in some of those Senate hearings. From their perspective, I thought she was useless. But they thought they had their next Barack Obama, but nobody wanted her, and there was too many people in the primaries, right? So as she got knocked out, and the DNC had another nightmare scenario where they might have Bernie Sanders win, because Bernie Sanders was by far the most popular candidate they had in that array of, people they had on their stages, right? DNC doesn't want Bernie Sanders as president. Bernie Sanders not really a Democrat. He's even farther to the left. He's that socialist guy, and they didn't want to be labeled with that at all, because that would have been the kiss of death for the Democratic Party, despite the fact that Bernie is very popular and has a very large following. But it ain't that large for our nation to go straight socialist. So what they did is they screwed Bernie again. They they talked all these other mainstream Democrats to get the hell out of the race so that they could all put their eggs in the Joe Biden basket, right? But they know Joe Biden's not going to last that long. I mean, this is like, I don't want to call it animal cruelty, but damn, Joe is not 100% there, right? But it worked. They got Clyburn to endorse Biden in South Carolina, and Clyburn is very popular in South Carolina, so Joe comes sweeping that South Carolina primary, and then they move on and they get Joe. They crush. They get Bernie out of there. They get Joe in there. Okay, Joe's not a good candidate, but the Democrats do not want the Republicans to be able to say they have the first woman president, right? Because after Trump, there's a couple women in the Republican Party that have a chance. One in particular, Nikki Haley. Regardless what you think of Nikki Haley, she seems to be would be the perfect next Republican presidential nominee, as far as women. So, but they thought, wait a minute. They still wanted to get Kamala Harris in there, because why would Joe Biden pick Kamala Harris, especially after Kamala Harris kind of took a bite out of Joe's ass in that one primary where she was basically calling him a racist without saying the word racist, right? So, but the DNC, remember, if you don't remember the very beginning when all the people started saying they're running for president, who got the biggest buzz from the media? And everyone was just, and the DNC, everyone was excited about Kamala Harris, but the people didn't want her. But now they got Kamala Harris back where they want her. They want her to be the president of the United States. How long's Joe going to last as president of the United States? Joe's having trouble remembering where he is sometimes. Now, granted, I'm not saying I am not a doctor. I'm not a psychiatrist, not a psychologist. I don't do any of that stuff. So I'm not making a diagnosis, Alzheimer's. But, how long is Joe going to last? And they're going to get, if Joe wins, they're going to get their Kamala Harris as president. That was their play all along. All right, let me finish saying good morning to people. Good morning, Scotty Dubs, James PFP, Willie, what is in the house? Let's see, Stabbing Joe Scarborough, keeping the knife sharp. Aaron Meredith, let's see, I got the one of you two. Attack Alpaca, good morning. Kyra Alexander, what's up? Let's see, did I miss somebody here? I already got. Fox P2, Katie did skate. God Emperor of Duncan, good morning. Thomas Cleaver, what's up? And Big Assassin 80, Tyler F. And I think I'm getting everybody here. Did I miss anybody? If I missed you, Anna Lynn's in the house. Good morning. TC Ball, what's up? And I'm scrolling now. See, Jaeger Pony, Cynical Lindsay, what's happening? Oh my gosh, I'm done scrolling there. Or I think my mouse is dying. I really do. It's been dying for a while. Okay, that looks like I got everybody. 50 people in the house already. Hit the like button. Also, share the stream. Hit that arrow down there. Super chats through YouTube or donations through Streamlabs, and you'll be a permanent part of the show. Also, I'm going to be opening up the line. Watch the chat. There'll be a link I didn't put the link in the description, but it is in the chat every here and there. If you want to jump in, we're going to take some, it's a call-in show because we're going to talk about your who you're going to vote for and why you support whoever you support. And I don't care who you support. If you support Joe Biden, jump on the line. I'd almost want to hear people who are supporting Joe Biden, even if it's for satirical reasons anyway. But let's do this real quick. 2 hard ads. Damn. Like, as in, can't skip. None of my I specifically did not click the I don't want ads you can't skip. I'm gonna have to adjust that. I don't mind. I don't care if I'm not here to make money from ads. In fact, I might dump some of the ads, just period. But anyway, Colon Show, Pac-Man's Revenge. No, not Colon Show, the Call-In Show. But there is a Streamlabs link in the chat. Look for it. It says, let's see, that's Superstar Donor chat. It is the Call-In Show chat. Let's see. Let me see if I can find it here. You know what? Let me put it in the description too. Let's edit the description. I'll put a link to the call-in line. Give me one moment here. Call-in link. And that should be it. Nope, wrong one. Brilliant. All right, let me get that. And I'm not too good at this, but I will put it in there we go. There you go. There's a StreamYard link. It says in the chat, call-in link is there. Save, and you should be able to get yourself in the line. I won't be for a little bit here, though. All right, and thank you to my first YouTube super chat of the day from the big guy who donated $5 through the super chat. Said, "Listen, fat."
Come on, man.
All right, that's very funny. Wait, the big guy. Who's the big guy? The big guy. Welcome to the big guy. I didn't even see you in the chat. So welcome to the show. I'm glad you're here. By the way, if you are here by accident or because someone sent you a link or you saw it in someone's tweet or something and you're not subscribed yet, hit the subscribe button and click that little bell or follow me on Twitter. Mine's Gabber Parlor, and you'll get notifications for the show. All right. Someone says, I get the string impression that Hunter calling Joe my chairman is also damning. It means he knew the criticism was of Hunter Joe being in CCP pockets. Yeah. Well, and that was how I think that's how they described the business leaders in China. They would call them my chairman. So I think Hunter was saying the same phrasing, my chairman. All right, let me show you a video real quick because we're going to talk about who I voted for in 2016. It's a little bit long, but it's very instructive and it'll give me some time to warm up my coffee. So here we go. Let's put YouTube mode and oh gosh, I have too many windows open. There we go. Here we go. All right. Let's see here. It should be right. Hey, wait, what the hell's going on here? What happened to my damn screen here? Hang on a second. Oh, something really wrong happened here. Okay, what happened? No, it's still there. Oh.
Hillary Clinton. I will be voting for Hillary Clinton.
Oh, hell no. You know, maybe I'll just get on that Trump train and I will vote for Donald J. Trump. Oh, man. I can't even believe I said that. What the hell's wrong with me? You know, we have over 320 million people in this country, and our two major political parties couldn't come up with better candidates than these? What the fuck? Hey everybody, this is PDawgKnight, finally getting another video up on YouTube, and I just want to talk to you a little bit about Election Day 2016, which is fast approaching. Actually, that's not entirely true. I don't want to talk about this election at all. It sucks, and I can't wait for it to be over. But a couple weeks ago, this big famous YouTube guy named Casey Neistat, who I'd never heard of, shows up out of the blue on my recommended videos with a clip called Who I'm Voting for President. Now, I'm not even sure why I watched it, but I did, and in the video, Casey told us why he was voting for Hillary Clinton, which was really just him rattling off why he was voting against Donald Trump. But more important than that, in his video, he laid out a challenge to other big-time YouTubers.
I want to end this by calling out all the big YouTubers. Some I know and some you viewers might know. See, making videos like this, they're not popular, they're not going to get you subscribers, they're not going to boost your view counts. But there is something much more valuable than subscribers or dollars, and that's backbone. That is not being scared to stand up for what is right, regardless of the cost.
I absolutely agree with Casey on this particular point. Now, I'm definitely far from being a big-time YouTuber. In fact, I may be one of the smallest YouTubers to even try to answer Casey's call. But in the interest of doing the right thing and proving to America that I, PDawgKnight, indeed have a backbone, I will make the great sacrifice and tell you, my 42 subscribers, and anyone else who might be watching, who I will be voting for President of the United States in 2016. Now, in my opinion, the President of the United States may be the most important job in the world. I mean, think about it. We have the world's largest consumer economy, the strongest, most technologically advanced military, we set worldwide trends in style, music, and culture, and we are the country that helps so many other nations advance and remain free. The President of the United States is often called the leader of the free world, and whether you like that or not, our president can in many ways determine the fate of many, many nations, not just our own. This is why I'm going completely insane about the choices our two major political parties made for their nominees for President of the United States. With all the great challenges we face in the world, one party has nominated a liar, a cheat, a person who will likely get us into another war, who really has no plan on what to do about terrorism, who moves money through a shady so-called charitable foundation for their own personal enrichment, and whose economic plan will likely destroy our fragile
economy and is always telling us what we want to hear,
I muted
thinking
myself
it will
so I
fool us into
wouldn't make
believing
judgments anyway.
they actually have any core values. And the other party, they nominated the same thing, but with different genitals, of course. See, you weren't even sure which one I was talking about until I gave the punchline. That's how bad these candidates are. Hillary Clinton, she's under investigation by the FBI and Congress for lying to the American people and for mishandling classified information. If she gets elected, she may be the first president in history who may not even be able to get a security clearance.
What difference at this point does it make?
Then you got Donald Trump, who is being sued for running a fake university and swindling hundreds, if not thousands of people out of their hard-earned money.
You're fired.
Oh yeah, hey Hillary, how's that reset with the Russians going? You do realize that no-fly zone over Syria you suggested in one of the recent debates would require us to go to war with Syria and the Russians? But yeah, then there's Donald Trump, who's so incredibly thin-skinned, if a foreign leader even writes a mean tweet about him, he'll probably start punching in the nuclear codes. All right, wait, let me take a deep breath. I'm here to tell you about who I'm voting for president. Now, I started out way back in the beginning of the Democrat and Republican primary season saying that I was never Trump and never Hillary. And nothing has happened since they were both nominated that has changed that. Every bad thing Hillary Clinton has said about Donald Trump is true. And on the other hand, every bad thing Donald Trump has said about Hillary Clinton is true. There are so many awful things I've left out that I could say about these candidates, but then this video would turn into a 5-hour documentary. They are the worst front-running candidates in the history of the United States of America. If you haven't figured that out, you are not being honest with yourself. So even though it's almost certain that one of these two will become president of the United States, I'm going to leave the voting booth with my integrity intact. So that means if I cast a vote for president, I will need to pick another candidate. Now, there are some so-called third-party options. You've got the libertarian candidate, Gary Johnson, who's not really a traditional libertarian, but more of a left of the spectrum libertarian who has a little too many nice things to say about Hillary Clinton for my taste, but he is running under the libertarian banner. There's also the Green Party candidate, Dr. Joe Stein, who is a far to the left-wing activist who is attracting a lot of the Bernie Sanders voters. There's also the independent candidate, Evan McMullin, who is a conservative getting some interest from the limited government constitutionalist types, and he actually has a pretty strong following in the state of Utah. And then there are the fringe candidates. Those are the candidates that you've never heard of that show up on the ballot in some states who, when you see them on your ballot, you say to yourself, who the hell is that? For example, on the sample ballot for my state, we have Darrell Castle from the Constitution Party, we have Dan Vodchek from the Legal Marijuana Now Party, Allison Kennedy from the Socialist Worker Party, and of course, Rocky Rock de la Fuente from the American Delta Party. Yeah, I've never heard of any of them either, but I think I can figure out the platform of the Legal Marijuana Now Party. They've just been a little too chill to actively get out and tell us about it. But let's face it, none of these candidates have a chance in hell to become president. Everybody knows it's going to come down to Hillary Clinton or Donald Trump, and no matter which one is elected, it's going to be a disaster. Unless we, the American people, find a way to stop it. And that is why I decided to make this video. There is a candidate out there, and I mean way out there, that already has a huge following. And although not on any of the state's ballots, with a strong write-in campaign at the grassroots level, I truly believe this candidate can have an incredible impact, not only on this great nation, but on the entire world. And mercifully, this is the only candidate that can eliminate the possibility of both a Hillary Clinton presidency and a Donald Trump presidency. Because while Secretary Clinton and Mr. Trump have spent almost their entire campaigns bashing each other, my candidate has been formulating a plan to completely eliminate all the problems that we face as Americans and as citizens of the world. Our national debt, gone. Climate change, solved in the shortest possible time. Corruption in politics, never again. Terrorism, immigration, cop shootings right in the streets, taxes, Milo Yiannopoulos on campuses. My candidate will solve all of these problems once and for all. But most importantly, my candidate will guarantee that you will never have to say the words President Hillary Clinton or President Donald Trump. And as a bonus, you'll never have to watch another political parody rap battle on YouTube ever again. And who is this candidate that will end all of these problems, including perhaps the worst political cycle in human history? Sweet Meteor of Death. I will be voting for Sweet Meteor of Death. Ladies and gentlemen, and all the rest of you that I really haven't learned all the pronouns and signifiers for, if you feel like the Democrat and Republican parties have let you down, it shouldn't be a surprise. Most democracies in human history have only lasted an average of 200 years. We are well beyond our expiration date, and the fact that Hillary Clinton and Donald Trump are our major presidential nominees, and of course the fact that the Cubs won the World Series, should have already proven that to you. So I'm asking you to join me and hundreds of thousands of others in sending a message to our major political parties by writing in the only major candidate guaranteed to end our misery. Please vote on November 8th by writing in Sweet Meteor O Death. And one final note, I need you to help me spread the word. If you like this video, hit that little thumbs up like button down here somewhere. And even more important, also down there is a little arrow with the word share next to it. Hit that share button and share this with all your friends and family on Facebook, Twitter, Snapchat, Tumblr, and whatever other social media you use. There are only a few days left until Election Day, and we need to get the word out. Also, below in the description box, I've left a link for the official Sweet Meteor of Death Twitter page, where you can get the latest news on the campaign and even pick up some Sweet Meteor of Death merchandise, like this cool coffee cup. Thank you for watching, and I'm looking forward to next time.
Oh, I should have worn my Sweet Meteor, or I should have had my cup out today. All right, so that's who I voted for in 2016. I literally did write in to the Sweet Meteor of Death in 2016. Now, how things have changed. Yeah, dark winter's coming. Dark winter's change. Okay, Scotty Dubs, that's an interesting statement you made there, and I'm going to start there. Or was that? No, D.I. Freighter Watcher said P-Dawg's journey to the Trump train. As you may have noticed, oh, thank you, God Emperor Duncan, for the stream. Says, Duncan says, I support Joe Biden because of his strong familial relationships with foreign businesses and governments, because of his extensive record of getting little done in office, and because he managed to save a generation of boys from being named Hunter. Oh, that's fantastic. Thank you, God Emperor Duncan. I will happily vote for President Trump in 2020 because one of the few politicians that in my lifetime who's not a politician, he's just a guy who does some business stuff. And it's hard for me I don't know if he's a great businessman or not. Obviously he's a millionaire or billionaire, whatever, that's fine. But what he has done, and with the help of obviously the people in Congress and the Senate, whatever, he's gotten done what he said he's going to do. He's done the things he said he's going to do. And I'm not a fan of his style. You'll never see me wear a MAGA hat, because that's not my brand. That's Donald Trump's brand. I'm not a MAGA person. I'm not on the Trump train necessarily. Let me put it this way. It's not that I support Donald Trump. I support the United States of America. And I truly believe that Trump in office for 4 more years, despite everyone trying to make everything worse because he's there, because there's an active campaign to destroy that Donald Trump the man, would be far better for the United States of America than a Joe Biden, Kamala Harris presidency. I believe the policies are better. The idea that the idea that Joe Biden thinks, okay, well, to solve all of our problems, we're going to tax everyone who makes over $400,000 up the wazoo, right? You know, when you tax things, so when you tax things, you get less of them, right? Because how do they get people to stop smoking? Well, they tax the shit out of cigarettes, right? So you get less smoking. But if you're going to tax businesses more, you're either going to get less from those businesses, or they're going to have less money to have jobs in their businesses, or everyone else is going to have less because they're going to have to pay more for everything. The more you tax, the less you get. Oh, but the fat cats in government do very well. But that's one thing I also like about Donald Trump is that Donald doesn't need the money. Okay? He didn't have to. It's unlike Joe Biden, who spent 47 years in government and got rich from being in government and found ways to get richer and richer in government, like a lot of people in Congress, Nancy Pelosi, Maxine Waters. That list is never ending. Donald Trump's already rich, okay? Doesn't take a salary as the president. He takes $1 of salary, gives the rest to something. If Donald Trump wasn't president tomorrow, he'd still be rich. And so that's another feature, you know? Now, granted, he's a bombastic, narcissistic, whatever. But if he's doing the things that I want him to do, I like his Supreme Court picks too. Okay. I think your Supreme Court should be people who read the law or the Constitution or whatever is on the paper and goes by what it says on the paper and not make new shit up to make it fit what their ideas. Here's what I'd rather have the Supreme Court do. If the paper doesn't fit, hey, why don't you go write that better and see if you can get it passed through because policy is the legislature's domain. Policy is the legislature's domain, not the court's domain. Not even the president's domain, although it is somewhat the president's domain. He certainly can, if he thinks there's a policy that needs to be done, he can say, hey, legislature, I want this policy done. Can we write this and get this passed through the legislature? Okay. And I think Amy Coney Barrett said that when she was accepting her, confirmation as as Associate Justice of the Supreme Court. She said, yeah, if a senator doesn't fight for the policy ideas, then it's a dereliction of duty. If you're trying to bring the court to decide so you can get a policy idea done, you're going to the wrong place. That's what the legislature's supposed to do. Okay, and I want the courts to say, did you follow what's on this paper or not? And if you didn't follow what's on this paper, or does this fit what's in this writing right here, then yay or nay. Great or fuck out of here, right? So now, and as far as, and also, everyone's, oh, Trump's such a liar. Trump's such a liar. He's lied so many times. All that BS. The media, a couple things. Here's what I fear if Democrats get in power. Okay, because they've already been doing it, right? They're trying to silence people, and they're doing it through techno oligarchs, social media, because social media is supposed to be this wild, wild west where you can just say whatever you want, and you've got to face the consequences within the social media. But now, oh no, we're gonna use social media as the arm of our party to make sure that you obey. Okay. Democrats are already saying if they get the presidency and the Congress and the Senate, they're going to try to change the rules so you can no longer have your voice. Now, the Senate especially this idea of getting rid of the filibuster in the Senate. So saying that in order to get cloture votes, you got to get a 60%, vote to close debate on certain things. That has a purpose. We don't want just a straight up democracy in the United States. We do want a representative republic where, you're not only represented population wise, but also represented geographically. And so that's why we have the more popular vote kind of chamber called the House of Representatives. And then we have the state where everyone gets the same number of votes, every state gets the same number of votes in the Senate, so that people in some of those geographic regions are still getting their representation. You got to remember, the coast and all the coasts have all the population, but a vast majority of the resources are in those states that are less populous. And also, there's the different regions, different places have different priorities, and you just can't let the population centers run the populous safe run roughshod over the resource safe. That's why our country was, it was designed that way, so that there's no tyranny of the majority. Okay, people bitching about the Electoral College. Well, that's if you want straight democracy. I don't remember who said it was. I don't even know who said this phrase, but democracy is two wolves and a sheep voting on what's for dinner. We don't want that in this country. We don't want that in this country. Okay, so senators used to be picked by the governors, or by the state legislatures or governors, I think. Because you want to be able to still be able to have your state's interests at heart. Now, people want this to be, I think people got this weird idea that it would be so much better if we were just a democracy. No. Because different places have different priorities. Someone the other day, I think it might have been Donald Trump in an interview, was saying, they were talking about this $15 minimum wage. Okay. And this was probably solidified my support for the president when he said this. He was being asked, I don't know what interview it was, but they were asking about the $15 minimum wage. People wanting to raise the minimum wage. And Donald Trump said, well, why would you have a single minimum wage for the entire country? Different places have different different costs of living, whatnot. Because I was thinking when I was on my trip, for example, when I was on my trip with my son last year, we went down the West Coast, and we were in San Francisco, and there was a In-N-Out Burger along Fisherman's Wharf, the wharf area. And they had a sign in there. There's a sign in there, the window. We're hiring, starting at $18 an hour, at a fast food hamburger joint. Okay, and I'm like, wow, $18 an hour. The cost of living down here. They need workers, and there's a market wage to work at In-N-Out Burger because of the need for employees at In-N-Out Burgers. They can't get people working at In-N-Out Burger. San Francisco is one of the most expensive cities living in the country. But if I'm in Hinckley, Minnesota, I doubt if there's going to be a McDonald's that's going to be, there's probably not a McDonald's where you're going to make $18 an hour, because the cost of living in Hinckley, Minnesota is nothing like the cost of living in San Francisco. So Donald Trump was saying, that should be, if people want to have a minimum wage locally that works for them, maybe they should be able to do that and not have a national minimum wage. National minimum wage, why? If your state thinks you need a higher minimum wage, let your state experiment with that and see how it works out for them. You know, it's funny because, you know, people are pitching that the minimum wage hasn't gone up since 1990 something. You know, I think it's $7.25. There isn't I live in the Twin Cities here. I don't think you can find a job that pays minimum wage. Not even unless you're working in a restaurant. And here they don't even have tip credit. Like a lot of places have tip credit where the minimum wage is $2.01 if you make tips, and if you claim enough tips that you make more than minimum wage, then that's what you get, or then they'll pay you the difference. They don't do that here. They just give everyone minimum wage, even if you work at a restaurant. So some people when I was bartending, I was making minimum wage as my salary, but then I was making $300 or $400 a night, or not $300 or $400, a couple $100 a night in tips. So I was making way more than minimum wage. So, but anyway, even the fast food places in Minnesota, I think that I see we're hiring signs all the time, starting at $12 an hour, starting at $13 an hour, starting at $14 an hour. In the fast food places, the places you'd think people were making minimum wage. Nope. Because the economy's good. Well, the economy was good. It still kind of is. Certainly there's been a big bounce back, even with the COVID, even with the states that are just having their super duper lockdowns. But you know that minimum wage thing, it's like, it is only applicable based on where you live, saying, oh, well, you need to have a living wage. Living wage is very different in New Orleans than it is in Baton Rouge. Living wage in Atlanta is, anyone know a little town in Georgia? The cost of living probably in Atlanta is different than the cost of living in Macon. The cost of living in Kansas City is different than the cost of living in Cape Girardeau. So the wages in that place are going to reflect how many people work there, how many people you need, how hard it is to find people to work for you. So why have a national minimum wage? Oh, because AOC said so. Oh, because Bernie said so. Oh, because Ilhan Omar said so. It's pandering. It's silly. Anyway, so that, and the fact that Trump, that impressed me too about Donald Trump, because Donald Trump's supposed to be out of touch, right? He's supposed to, people say, oh, the other reason I would be much happier with Donald Trump being the next, continuing as his presidency, is because of many of the foreign policy successes. Now, most people don't give a shit about foreign policy, but if you look what he's done, as far as it's funny because he's much tougher on our friends than he is on our enemies. That's a criticism of him. He's so much tougher on our friends than he is on our enemies. That's a feature. You should have higher expectations from your friends. You should be able to ask your friends to do more. And he has, and he's successfully done it with our NATO allies. He's got the NATO allies to step up because we've been floating them for years on this defense thing. Hey, if we get them to pay their shit themselves, maybe we can back off a little bit. Also the fact, hey, I got a graphic. Let's see if I still have this graphic in my folder here. Give me a second here. There's another reason why I will vote for Trump, and let's see if it's in my pictures here. Pictures. Where is that? Did I hope I still have it. Let's see. Is that it? Nope. Shoot. Anyway, it was a graphic of the wars that have been started in the last 4 or 5 presidencies. And you had Reagan, and you had George Herbert Walker Bush. You had Clinton. You had 3 or 4 wars here and there. Clinton, Obama, George W. Bush all started wars or conflicts. And in Trump's first 4 years, none. And in fact, I would like him to continue pulling people out of Afghanistan, out of the Middle East, let's say, places where we're not wanted. I'm sure the bases in Saudi Arabia will probably remain, but that's not because we're there on a war footing. But he hasn't started any new wars. And after George W. Bush, who I supported, but then learning about that whole Iraq nonsense. Am I mad Saddam Hussein's gone? Not necessarily, but has that been a big plus for us? Not necessarily. And how we got into it. That guy who lied in front of the congressional testimony, what was his name? Oh, Robert Mueller, the FBI director, who couldn't even look at the congressman who asked the question when he was telling his lie about WMDs. We know. That whole episode has taken my luster off the Bush presidency. And funny how all the former Bushites are supporting Joe Biden. Fascinating. Most of those Lincoln Project Nimrods, are they just war profiteers? Because it just kind of seems like it. David Frum. So just put me on the anti-war right. Okay, there is an anti-war right, and I'm part of it. I'd like to I think that should be a very, very limited tool, so to speak. A very limited tool. And so far, seems like this president isn't that interested in getting us any more wars. It's kind of a waste of time and money. But Joe Biden, funny. It's funny too, because the way the Democrats have been talking about Russia for 3 or 4 years, it's almost like they're trying to start another Cold War. They kind of are, aren't they? I mean, all the shit. So you had some Russians put out some Facebook ads, but trying to tie Donald Trump to the Russians when actually the only Russian collusion, so to speak, that we actually had, the real Russian collusion, was when we were getting Russian disinformation paid for by Hillary Clinton and the DNC? Steele dossier, does that ring a bell? Kind of weird how that has all turned out, isn't it? Isn't that strange that all that Russian, there was absolutely evidence that the Hillary Clinton campaign paid for foreign interference in the United States election and presidency. Amazing. Good morning, Augusto Pinochet. Nice to see you, Mr. President. Also, Tarai Deos. How you doing? Anna Lynn, how you doing? Cynical Lindsay. Amy, I don't think you were here when we started. Good morning, Amy in Connecticut. I think I got everybody. I'm sure I'll see you if I didn't already. So I'm not ready to change teams right now. I think, and plus, right now that we're all the stuff we're finding about the younger son of the Bidens, or Biden, because she's not Jill Biden's son, Dr. Biden's son, and how the Bidens have used the Biden name to make themselves a few extra shekels here and there. I can't say that they're not compromised. You know what I'm saying? Just they're pretty compromised as far as I'm concerned. And by the way, let's get a couple articles and we'll open up the lines here. The line for the call in today, if you want to call in. But the question we're going to ask you in the call in today. Okay, let me give you that question right now. Why? Give me a couple reasons why you're voting, who you're voting for. Let me know, and we'll get you on the line here in a little bit. But we'll do that at 1:15, and we'll take the last 15 minutes of just phone calls. Actually, we'll do it in a few minutes here. I'm going to just do a couple of articles real quick. All right. On that line of note, let's get some of the biggest things here today. Interesting article. I'll just do the part from Ace of Spades here. And this is just from JJ Sefton. Good morning, kids. Friday, and we'll get to the continuing breakout Biden crime family story in a moment. We're just 4 days away from deciding the fate of the nation for at least a generation, if not forever. If you listen to the Democratic industrial propaganda complex, it's either Biden is cruising to double-digit victory, or else the race is going to be a squeaker because Trump, somehow with the help of Vladimir Putin, rigged the U.S. Postal Service and stole the election. That's that Nate Silver thing. Let us take the first case. The prime example is from the most revered leftist prognosticator, Nate Silver, who was absolutely wrong in 2016, who says, what the hell's going on here? Move my chat back down here. Popular analytics website 538 now gives Joe Biden an 89% chance of defeating Trump. Remember, they had Hillary Clinton at 96%. The prediction model is based on polling and some other factors. Some other factors? That sounds like some weasel words. Anyway, 538 explains, quote, "We simulate the election 40,000 times to see who wins most often. The sample of 100 outcomes below gives you a good idea of the range of scenarios our model thinks is possible." A short hop into the Wayback Machine to 4 years ago indicates Silver predicted Hillary Clinton beating Donald Trump 71.4% to 28.6%. And now he has Biden, a spectacularly uninspiring, flawed, near octogenarian. Butchered that. And dementia patient beating probably the most wildly popular incumbent since FDR, allegedly, by nearly 18 points. Sefton analysis, Nate Silver is the Karl Rove of Professor Erwin Corwin. Thank you, the big guy, again, for another $2 in the super chat on YouTube. Says, I'm voting for Trump. Well, there you go. And congratulations. And I'm going to too this time. Let's see. If Joe Biden is cruising to victory, how does one explain the anecdotal evidence which, taken in toto, portend disaster for the Democrats, the rallies, the enthusiasm, the now mad scramble to drag Goofy Joey out of his Delaware snake pit and inflict him upon dozens of spaced out, and literally and figuratively, rally attendants in Michigan and Minnesota, 2 states supposed to be automatic Democratic locks. Isn't that interesting, too? Look where they're going. Why, if they're supposedly up 9 in Michigan, why is Joe Biden campaigning in Michigan? Why is Barack Obama campaigning in Michigan? If he's up 9, everyone's in on our trip a couple weeks ago. We went up to the North Shore Lake Superior and did a waterfall tour. That's what in the standby and in my outro, you see video from that. Here's a couple signs that we saw when we were out looking. Or out driving around in northern Minnesota. Now, you saw some occasional Biden signs, okay? And it is interesting. In the Twin Cities, if you drive through the Twin Cities, you see a lot of Biden signs, especially down into Minneapolis and whatnot, okay? Then you get out towards the edge of the Twin Cities, you start getting into the suburbs, and then you start seeing billboards, big old billboards for Trump. This Trump, Pence, Big Blue, and also a lot of those, you ever seen those lighted billboards that the billboards change? They show up on those a lot too. Then as you're driving up through, as soon as you get out of cities, you're driving between kind of the rural area between the Twin Cities and Duluth. There's several small towns off the side of the road. And man, if you saw any political signs at all, they were all Trump as you get into more rural Minnesota. But then you get into Duluth. And in the south side of Duluth, you kind of see a mix of Trump and Biden signs when we were up there. And then we got to in Duluth, right? And the north side of Duluth, as you drive through Duluth, and you got to go up to the North Shore, the scenic route up on Highway 61. And there's this area. I mean, on the shore of Lake Superior, there's all these wealthy, super wealthy Tony homes, probably where all the college professors at the University of Minnesota Duluth and the College of St. Scholastica, they probably all live there. And it's nothing but Biden signs all along the road. You don't see a Trump sign anywhere near that little super hoity-toity rich area where you know what I'm saying? It's like all the what do you call them? Not lipstick liberals. What the hell you call them? Limousine liberals. All the limousine liberals had their Biden signs, right? All the whatever. Soon as you literally the second you get outside of that area of Duluth, it's Trump signs everywhere. And there was I have a couple that were absolutely my favorites. And these, hang on, I got to click these open. These were my absolute favorites. Why isn't that not opening? Come on. Oh, there it is. Okay. Oh, I already have it open. That's why. Okay, so we drove. Let me see if I can get this on the screen. Perfect. We drove. We're driving through on Highway 61, and there's this, not a farm. I don't know what it was. But this, we see this. Okay. Oh, this is not even the whole display. Hang on a second here. Where's the one I want to show you? Okay. We drive by, we see this. Someone put this display outside their house. And, so here's the one on the far right. Okay. Then they had, this lovely thing in the middle. And then, well, let's see. Oh, I didn't open the one on the left. Hang on a second. I'll open the one on the left too, which is this one. Yeah, pop open there. Come on. Where is it? Oh, no. It won't scroll. Hang on a second here. Oh. Oh, here it goes. Wow, what's going on here? Anyway, there's the third one, okay? And then we're driving even farther up north, and you see this all the time. You'd see people with big old signs out in their yards, like not just a little political sign, but we're talking about giant Trump signs with flags hanging off them. This was another one we saw when we were up there. Oh, come on. Why isn't this opening? Here, let me close a couple of these. That'll help. We saw that one already. That one cracked me up. That one cracked me up. But let's see. Yeah, I just have too many windows open on my computer. That doesn't help. And well, anyway, you get the point. So just people were making their own giant Trump signs everywhere. So anyway, now what the hell was I talking about? oh, we're finished up this little bit with JJ Sefton here. Come on. There we go. Close that. All right. Anyway, so again, if Joe Biden is cruising to victory, oh, good Lord. All right, if Joe Biden is cruising to victory, how does one explain the anecdotal evidence? We already talked about that. Now, to be fair, if I cited Helmut Norpath and Jim Lee of Susquehanna Polling, who are both predicting a massive Trump win, then I'd be guilty of wish casting. No? I think that at this stage, it's the records of the aforementioned, as well as their methodologies, that one should consider, and they speak volume. But again, I'm not interested necessarily in polling. I'm looking at what I see across the country, at least when we can get the camera angle from the agitprop TV that lets us see a Trump audience as opposed to a Biden one. And then there are the endorsements. Oh, here's the other Trump sign, which all of a sudden decides to pop up. Good Lord. That's just my computer telling me to stop what you're doing, because I'm about to ruin the image and the style that you're used to. Good Lord, what are you doing, computer? I got to reroute some of my stuff here. Okay, I'll close that. Anyway, but anyway, I'm not interested in polling. I'm looking at what I see across the country. At least we can get a camera angle from Agitprop TV that lets us see Trump audience opposed to a Biden one. And then there are the endorsement. Yes, the Golden Bear Jack Nicholas is great, but now rap star Lil Wayne has come out with a resounding endorsement of the Golden Scalp Weasel on the heels of Ice Cube's more measured yet unambiguous thumbs up. And that indicates that Trump may actually be on the verge of truly making history again. Now, I could care less about endorsements from Lil Wayne or the fact that Ice Cube cooperated with the Platinum Plan stuff, and I could care less that 50 Cent seemed to say he wanted to vote for Trump because he didn't want to be 20 Cent, and then backing down after Chelsea Handler offers him some of that sweet, sweet WAP. And so then he said, fuck Trump again. I don't care about celebrity endorsements. I don't care, if Superman and Buffy the Vampire Slayer and all those people, not because they're celebrities, but just what they say. For example, James Wood, love him as an actor, don't care about a celebrity, but James Wood is like smarter than anyone on the planet. I mean, did you know that James Wood is like a genius, literally a genius, like, we're talking 150 IQ genius type person. And he says some things, and it's not his celebrity that I care about. It says if he says smart things or dumb things. Ice Cube, though I know he's trying to help, but Ice Cube said some things that weren't, I listened to him and I get the idea, but no, that's not how life works, because you're so far removed from reality as far as what people actually do to be successful. Even though you're successful, that I don't care. All right. That pop hasn't been sweet for decades, bro. Well, okay. Absolutely. Thank you to the People's Front of Canada. You are absolutely correct. Not a chance. But anyway, hey, look, it must have been decent if 50 changed his mind just because what she said, like, she's like, I'm literally, she said, not only did you say that you can't vote for Trump because you're black, I got to remind you that you're black and that you can't vote for Trump. But she offered some of that, she said, I might give you another go round if you change your mind. And the brother changed his mind. I think the brother lost his mind, but he changed his mind after hearing she might give him some. There's something there. I don't get it, but whatever. And I won't get it and I want to get it. Ugh. Anyway. Let's see. Ice Cube's more yet and a biggest thumbs up and indicates Trump may be on the verge of. Okay, here's the point. And this is the problem for Joe Biden, that if this is true, now again, it's Rasmussen. Everyone hates Rasmussen because they tend to get things right. At least they did in 2016. But they tend to have polls that are more favorable to Trump, and the rest of the media just doesn't want to acknowledge them. But whatever. According to Rasmussen, Black Americans plan to vote for President Trump in larger numbers than in 2016. That's the death of the Democratic Party, if that's true. That's not surprising, yet we are still not talking, we're not talking a point or two adding to that year's 8% total, but a whopping 31%. On Thursday, Rasmussen's daily tracking poll found that 31% of black likely voters plan to vote for Donald Trump. That number must be an anomaly, right? A typo. There is no way of overstating this. If you were around 30% of black Americans, if around 30% of black Americans vote for President Trump, black America will not only rewrite the next political chapter, but will rewrite the entire political book. Even if half that figure, depending on the states in question, would condemn Democrats to sure defeat. It would mean around 2 million more black Trump voters than 2016. And President Trump has made it good on his promise to black America. Before the pandemic, black unemployment was at a record low. Wages for black workers and all workers were rising for the fastest rate in a decade, especially for the lowest paid. Poverty rates for black Americans and Hispanic Americans reached record lows. President Trump delivered record funding for historically black colleges. Perhaps most significantly, Trump secured criminal justice reform. This is the same President Trump Democrats insist is a white supremacist. If President Trump is a white supremacist, he sucks at it. I'm sorry, it says he's doing an awful job, but I would say if he's a white supremacist, he sucks at being a white supremacist. That's another reason I will vote for Trump. And let me clear something up, because I hate it when Candace Owens or any of the Tatum or any of those guys, or what's the dudes, the ABL, when they say a reason to vote for Trump is because Trump got the lowest black unemployment in history. No, Trump didn't do that. That's not what Trump did. And this is another reason why I'm voting for Trump. He did not create the lowest unemployment for black Americans. He facilitated America to get the lowest black unemployment for black Americans. Meaning, Make America Great Again doesn't have a racial component. If you make America better, America's better for everybody. He didn't set out to get the lowest black unemployment numbers, or the lowest Hispanic low employment numbers, or the lowest Asian employment numbers. He worked on making America better so everybody could benefit from it. Okay? So, we were talking about with the plan for Black America, the Platinum Plan or whatever a few weeks ago, where if you notice, the Platinum Plan wasn't about just giving people shit, right? It was just, hey, let's figure out if we can get people to have more opportunities to make themselves better. So the black college, I like the black college thing, okay? Because a lot of, now look, you realize that even those traditionally black colleges and universities don't even have a majority of the black people who attend colleges and universities, right? But it's all about opportunity. And all I care about is opportunity. And that's the problem I have with 50 Cent. 50 Cent's like, or not 50 Cent, let's Ice Cube. Ice Cube, he's talking, well, what are you going to give us? No. It's not what are you going to give us. Ice Cube, let me just have this caveat. Ice Cube's plan isn't just saying the government should do this. He's thinking private business, whatever. But the best thing, as a demographic, the best thing we could do is teach people in our demographic what the opportunities are and how to go get them, and then facilitate getting them. Not asking for, I don't want to beg somebody else to make my life better. I'd rather someone say, hey, you can accomplish this. Here's how you do it. Let's get the tools and make sure you believe that you can make your life better. I don't want Trump saying, well, I'm going to make black unemployment the lowest ever. No, you just make everyone's unemployment the lowest ever, and the rising tide raises all boats. I don't want Joe Biden giving me a bunch of money, or Kamala Harris, because Joe Biden's not going to be there very long. But here's the thing, and he makes a good point here. It's one thing to have Clarence Thomas, Candace Owen, or Ben Carson in your camp, but when the scales fall, or at least begin to fall from the eyes of so-called authentic black icons such as Kanye West, Ice Cube, and now Lil Wayne, whose followers and fans are, IIRC, I don't know what that means, in the millions, it is proof positive that Donald Trump is transformational. If Lincoln emancipated physical chains of democratic slavery, then Trump may finally be the one to open their eyes, hearts, and minds to the virtual democratic chains of perpetual victimhood and indentured political servitude that the vast majority have been blind to for nearly 60 years, to see themselves as not merely black, but American. Whatever Trump has done over the past 4 years and whatever he will do over the next 4, God willing, the second emancipation of American black citizens might well be the greatest. Now, I'm not a fan of the slavery metaphor in this case, but I get the point. Good morning, Gamer Valine. How you doing? Oh, Uncle Bobby, did I even say good morning to you? I think I did. I know you were here early, and I'm just making sure I did. All right. All right, I don't have anyone in line to be on the show, but please, if you want to be in the call-in, these last 15, 20 minutes, we will take call-in. I'll put the link in the chat. Make sure that works. So there it is. All right. While we're waiting, I do have another article here that I want to check into because... Let's see. Do we do the brave American Trump voters? We'll skip that one. There is some, let's see. Hang on. Oh, yeah, that's clown. W Street Journal. Oh, yeah. You know, Joe Biden used Adolf Hitler in campaign ad. This shit's just starting to piss me off. Former Vice President Joe Biden. Yeah, wait, before I even get to this. Now, I don't know how much of you have been listening to Joe Biden campaign stops or if you've seen clips and things like that. Joe Biden is starting to tell, how do I put this? Yeah, Joe Biden already has a history of embellishment. You know what I'm saying? Embellishment. That's a kind way to put it. Just making shit up. For example, when he got in the argument back in the 88, the campaign, and he was talking about telling some guy he had 3 degrees and he got a full scholarship and he was the top of his class. And then the media found out none of that was true. And that's why he had to drop out of the campaign. And in fact, I wish somebody in the media would ask him about his 88 campaign. You know, you had some trouble with plagiarism and this and that, but they're protecting him. Anyway, but he tells some really just bullshit stories. Like even with Charlottesville, okay? Those dickheads in the tiki torches and the polo shirts and the khaki pants doing their little parade down the street was stupid, right? It was stupid. But the way Joe Biden tells the story, you remember those people coming out of the woods with their torches, and they were yelling, excuse me, anti-Semitic slogans and this and that, and like they came charging out of the woods and were chasing people down the street. No, they were dickheads doing anti-Semitic statements and a very peaceful march down the street. They weren't snarling and this and that. They just were out there yelling like any other protest, even though they were a bunch of dickheads, right? And then they went and killed that woman. That's not exactly how it happened. The violence didn't start. The violence didn't start from the people who were having the protest about the statue. The violence came to them, and then the police pushed them into it, and then there was violence. It wasn't like they came there and started fighting. Or, you know what else he said the other day? Now, this one was a good one, too. He said, from the very beginning of Trump's campaign, as he was coming down the elevator, saying that we're going to get rid of all those rapist Mexicans. Joe, one, that's not what he said. And two, that was not when he was coming down the elevator, right? But the way Joe says, he's got to get rid of those rapist Mexicans. He called them rapist Mexicans. When in fact, Trump didn't, that whole rapist thing, I should do a video on that. I've been saying that for a while. That whole thing's a myth. Okay. He was talking about who they were sending over the border that they wanted to stop. And so, yes, the words, "they're rapist," came out of his mouth, and that's what they clipped, right? But what he said was, they're sending their criminals. I don't remember the exact words. They're sending their criminals. They're sending their, what did he say? I don't know. They're sending their criminals. They're sending their, I'll just say bad people because I can't remember the exact words. They're sending their criminals. They're sending their bad people. They're rapists, but some of them are good people. Meaning he was giving you a list of who Mexico is sending across the border. Not what Mexicans are, but because he didn't say in the third example, they're sending there, it made it very easy for them to clip that. And that was what came out in the media the next day, or, when describing Mexicans, they're rapists. When describing Mexicans, he said, they're rapists. When describing Mexicans, he said, they're rapists. Not the list. They're sending their criminals. They're sending their bad people. They're sending their criminals. They're sending their bad people. They're rapists. And some of them are good people. Why would he say some of them are good people right after saying they're rapists? Because it's not they are rapists. They, THEY''RE. He said a list of what they're sending, THEIR rapists. But it made for a good quote mine, didn't it? And that's the other thing. They lie about what he says all the time. They completely lie. The very fine people lie. Joe Biden said, I started my campaign because he said those people coming out of the bushes with their torches and gnarly faces and coming out, and he said, they're very fine people. No, that's not who he was talking about when he said some of them are very fine people on both sides. There were fine people protesting the taking down of the statue. Some people were just there because they cared about the historical context or the history, and some of them were relatives. And then there were some fine people on the other side who were protesting, thinking that, they didn't want, they even though they, whatever, you all know, because, you guys, I have a smart audience. Anyway, all right, let's bring our first guest today. I see Cindy Rochelle waiting, so I'm going to pop you in here. Good morning, Cindy.
Good morning.
How are you?
I'm good.
Hey, are you still in Florida right now?
Yeah, we're going to have to spend the entire winter in Florida, it looks like.
Oh, yeah. Is that all because of COVID restrictions?
Yes. Yeah.
So, for those of you who don't know, Cindy and what's your husband's name again?
Bill.
Cindy and Bill, they are they're my favorite nomads on the planet. They travel around in their big ass RV, and there's Bill just sneaking in with the cat. Hello, cat. Hi, Bill.
Oh, there we go.
So anyway, Cindy, what's up? Tell me a little bit what you're thinking here.
Well, I think it's all a mess, but yeah, I'm voting for Trump.
Okay. Give me some of your main reasons.
I genuinely believe he loves the country and has the country's best interests. Yet his foreign policy has definitely been refreshing and a surprise.
Mm-hmm.
He really should be honored for everything he's done. He's the only one who's actually made any attempt to actually bring troops home. And
he's a shitlord?
Oh, he's a shitlord. So that's a win-win for everybody, really. The left hates him. He pisses off Nancy Pelosi. I mean, these are positives.
That's a feature.
Yeah, it is a feature. I did not vote for him in 2016. I voted for Gary Johnson.
Okay. Why?
Well, I'm a libertarian.
Okay.
I'm actually a registered libertarian, and I voted to support the party. But I knew it was a mistake. I didn't want Gary to win. I wanted it to be John McAfee.
Oh.
He's a radical, but I like John, and but I knew he wasn't gonna be like, he's not kosher enough really to be a serious contender. And Gary was, but Gary's such a crybaby, and he's an SJW.
I was gonna say, so basically, you weren't necessarily voting for Gary because you wanted him to win. Because I was gonna say, do you even consider him to be an actual libertarian?
I think he's more so than Joe Jorgensen.
Okay.
I don't like Joe Jorgensen at all, but yeah, he is somewhat of a libertarian. He's a little more conservative when it comes to like spending other people's money and whatnot. And so that's pretty good. But yeah, overall, he's pretty much a SJW. You know what it was when he had that big hissy fit over somebody called somebody illegal aliens or illegals, and he had a big hissy fit, and they couldn't even discuss the issue because he was so offended by the term illegal alien.
Right.
I mean, come on. How can anybody get anything done like that? You just gotta move on. You can be like, yeah, I don't like that term. I think it's disrespectful, but here's what we should do about it.
Yeah.
Not have a 5-minute temper tantrum about somebody's choice of language. But,
well, and it's still the legal terminology of what they are. That's if you look at, there's no law that says undocumented immigrant. If you're an undocumented immigrant, you're not an immigrant, because the immigration is a process. So you didn't go through the damn process.
And it's a hard process. And if we want to talk about, changing those laws that make it so difficult to become a citizen, we can do that. But we can't do that if you're just crying and screaming at everybody about what we're going to call it even.
Right.
Or if you're crying and screaming about just let everybody in. Well, that's not how it works.
Okay.
And we can't do that. But, people these days are crazy.
Yeah, no doubt.
But yeah, I'm definitely voting for Trump. I think he's authoritarian. I don't like a lot of his things. The whole vaping thing really pissed me off. He does support asset forfeiture, which I am very much against.
Trump does?
Yeah, Trump definitely supports asset forfeiture.
Do you think he has he taken a position on that, or is it just because that he hasn't done anything to change it? I don't know.
Honestly,
and I honestly don't know, so I'm not sure.
There was a big conference right after he got into office where the police, I don't know what you call them, the police cabals or whatever, came in and they had a big meeting, and they were directly talking about asset forfeiture. Okay. And they were telling him how much it supports the police departments and blah, blah, blah. And he came out and was publicly saying how good it is that they keep doing that. And it's highway robbery is what it is.
Absolutely. Okay. All right. Well, cool. Well, I appreciate you giving me a few. I've got one more up next, but it's always great to talk to you, my friend, and be safe down there in Florida. I hope you can find a place to hook up wherever you go.
Hopefully.
And when I say hook up, people, I'm talking about their RV. So there you go. Because Bill's right there, and we don't want to cause any problems. All right. Well, thanks, Cindy. I appreciate you coming on.
Well, thanks, PDawg. Thanks for everything you do.
All right. Thank you. All right, next on the line, I've got Atheist Icon, and there we go. How you doing, man?
I'm doing great. How about you?
I am fantastic, just short of perfect, in fact. tell me what you're thinking here, man.
Well, here's the thing. When I joined the military back in 2001, and I voted for Bush, and that was the reason why I kind of just wrote myself in after that, because he burned me. And even during 2016, I still wrote my name in, and my wife voted for me as well. But from just the last 4 flipping years, man, it's just getting to the point where it's like you know what? Spite vote. Screw all you guys. I'm done. I'm just gonna vote for Trump. And I hate to say that, and not necessarily, nothing bad about that, but it's just I hate defending politicians, regardless of who they come from or what leanings they are. You know, I don't know, man. Just sorry.
So no, that's okay. When you say that, because I find this all the time too, because I didn't support Trump in 2016, and I'm like I said, I'm not a MAGA person. I am more a policy and what's best for the country person, and I find myself with all the like, let's just go through the Russia stuff. I found myself defending Trump all the time, going,
yes.
What are you talking about? Or anything that he did, and they would just, the media would just try to take a shit on him. And I was like, I found myself defending Trump all the time. And I'm like, well, should I have to defend him all the time the way we're doing here? So I kind of get what you're saying.
Yeah. Well, it's just the crap over the sorry, I shouldn't. Anyway, it's just the stuff over the years that you're sitting going like, come on, guys. You know what I'm. Anyway, I'm going to take a sip of my reparations coffee, even though I'm technically white. But yeah, no, it was just one of those things where I didn't even ask who my wife voted for, just because that's not my business.
Right.
Whoever you vote for, you vote for. I don't give a crap. But and then I have a how do I say this? A very left-leaning individual in my family that I just get all this crap from, and I'm going like, okay, I'm done. I can't do this anymore. And it was just more for me, unfortunately, just a spite vote. Yeah. I don't know how better to say it though.
That left-leaning person in my family is my mother. I mean, we're talking Bernie Sanders left, like complete Bernie Sanders supporter. So we can't talk politics because I upset her too much.
Oh yeah, the individual in my family is just like that, and she's very close. Let's just put it that way.
Yeah. Now, let me ask you: are you still able to have a relationship outside of the political stuff because of it? Because I had anyone that said, "No, we're done. Don't care. You're a Trumpite," even though you're not. I think here's what I hear from you: that you're very much like me in that you are not a Trump supporter. You're an America supporter. Is that accurate?
That would be true.
Okay.
Yes.
Because that's how I see it. I'm not a Trump supporter. I mean, I will vote for him this time, but I'm an American supporter, and I think right now, I have actual fear of what'll happen if the Democrats take over everything. Everything that's going on the street right now, it's not going to stop what's happening in the streets right now. It's only going to encourage it.
And that's what I'm afraid of, because if Biden doesn't win, there's going to be an issue, and it's not going to be a good thing.
Okay, let me pause here for just a second. Thank you, Black Hebrew Israelite with the 223 on Streamlabs, who says, my ex-black pussy told me to vote Democrat. My ex-white pussy told me to vote Biden. That's wrong. I told both bitches to go back to sucking my dick. That's right. I'll vote for Trump and the Republicans. Most bitches are emotional and shouldn't be voting. That's right. Yes, repeal the 19th. Anyway, Jesus. I know you can't hear my sound effects, but I just gave you the wild clapping one. So anyway.
Yeah, no worries.
Thank you, Black Hebrew Israelite. That's right. Yeah,
but no, like my relationship with the individual in question. Well, I'm just gonna put it out there. My sister.
Okay.
We're both good. We can deal with whatever. We kind of rib on each other every so often, depending, that kind of stuff. The political stuff. That's whenever she goes through and is like, "Oh, stop it!" And I'm going like, "Okay, well, you don't want to hear the truth, then." Whatever. And it's just one of those things. That's where anyway, but yeah, but the family dynamic, or however you want to look at it, great. It's and you know the sad thing is, my parents were diehard Republicans, and I became well, as you can see, atheist, and I was kind of doing like the anarchist or apathetic type stuff. And then I just started realizing, going through and going like, okay, neither side is helping us, so boom, I'm done. I'm just burn it all down.
Right.
And then I just realized now it's like I have to vote for the person that I would hope would put the course or the country on the correct course. Let's just put it that way. That's just about it. But I mean, I know I'm just rambling. I apologize.
No, never apologize. That's fantastic. And I really, really appreciate you jumping on. And by the way, thank you for being one of my newer regulars on the show. I like seeing you in the chat, and you always have some good things to put in the chat too. So I appreciate it. Well, just really quick here. How's the mic, by the way? Oh, sounds great. You have a great voice. Sounds good.
Oh, damn. Maybe I should do some maybe I should do some streaming.
Hey, I'm telling you, you got a great voice. I like it. So, all right, man. Well, thank you so again for coming on the show. I really appreciate it.
Yeah, if I I'll click this here. I think that'd be good. All right.
Yep.
Well, have a good day. Don't have too much fun, and vote for whatever your conscience that you want. I'm not telling anybody to vote any differently.
All right. Great advice. Thank you so much.
All right. Bye.
All right, man. Bye. All right. Cool. So there you go. I don't have anyone to wait, and plus it's time for me to go. Just a programming note, I probably will stream again this afternoon. I hope to. It's just depending how the schedule goes. But I do want to thank both Cindy Rochelle and Atheist Icon for jumping on the stream today. I probably do just really random call-in combination of other articles and things like that. But I'm out of time. So everyone who's here today, we've got 62 in the show watching right now and 46 likes. Please, before you do anything else, click that little thumbs up thing right down there. Okay, click that, and if you have time, share the show. And also, if you want to do donations, you can do it through Super Chat, through Streamlabs, through Cashapp, and or Venmo, which is all in the description down below. But I hope that you all are, if you haven't voted already, and you want to vote, vote. But if you don't want to vote, don't vote. It's up to you. That's the great thing about being American. You always have the choice. Vote for who you want or don't vote. But I always say vote locally if you know what's going on locally. But you know what? Do your thing. Do your thing. I got to go, people. My name's PDawgKnight, and I'm out of here. Bye. Bye. Hey, this is PDawgKnight, and thank you for watching today on the PDawgKnight channel. If you have an observation or remark you'd like to make about this video or my channel, I absolutely welcome you to write it in the comments section down below. I really look forward to hearing from you. And before you go, if you like what you saw but you're not already subscribed, please make sure you hit the subscribe button and definitely click that bell that pops up afterward so you'll be notified when I post new videos or when we go live. I broadcast my live show, The Morning Night Live, Monday through Friday at 10 a.m. Eastern, 9 o'clock Central. A special thank you to all the supporters of this channel who share our videos on social media and who make donations through Streamlabs, YouTube, Venmo, and Cash App, which are all linked in the description down below. Thanks again, and until next time, I'm PDawgKnight, and I'm out of here.